Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 96 of my GEMP game review series. I am your host, Chris Goglin. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. The trophies you saw at the beginning, those are not mine. That was an old photo of the first world champion, Rafael Asselin's collection. He posted a couple years back on the Facebook group. He was actually at that one point in time considering selling his world championship trophy. I don't know if he did or didn't, or if he kept it, and a lot of people were trying to talk him into keeping it. Um, but I had talked with Dan Tartaglione on, I think it was a Holo Theater show that I might have been on, and we were talking about something, and I shared that photo, but you really couldn't see it very well. So I thought I'd take this opportunity, since we're talking about the premiere to Death Star 2 era a little bit more. We've got the new format coming up. We've got the retro event that starts in 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. A lot of people signed up. A lot of people signed up in here. A lot of names haven't seen in a long time. So that's great. That's some people are found a format that they like playing, that they feel that they can compete in, and that they're interested in playing in. And still time to sign up if you have not yet. There's the information in the registration link right there. You go here, you get your information to find out. Registration fee, none. It's a free tournament. What's better than that, right? You play 10 games. If you make the top 8, you get to go to a match play head to head. We got some cool prizes. I think that's in a different thread. What's this? No, it's just the likelihood of how people could finish. Yeah, it's a little weirder with Star Wars because you'll play 5 light side and 5 dark side games. So, but it's not a traditional format tournament either. So you're not guaranteed along the way to play people who are also winning. You could play 10 games against people who go 0 and 10. Um, your win percentage would be terrible and you'd lose all the tiebreakers. But if you win all 10 games and you get 10 wins, hopefully you won't need any tiebreakers, right? So lots of cool stuff going on here with this event. Of course, there's a chance some more cards may be programmed in the next week or two. We got tractor beams recently. I'm sure we'll be getting some more stuff soon. Are the prizes in here? Are they in this separate thread? Registration rules. Prizes, separate thread. Look at that. First place gets Japanese Mint Devastator. That's got to be at least $100 now, right? $100 card. So R1 Premier, highly sought after, maybe $75. I don't know. Plus an uncut sheets. We got a bunch of uncut sheets we're giving out, and these are the big ones you see people putting up all the time on their Facebook, like when they finally got framed, which usually you have to get custom framed for the most part, because they are an oblong size, not kind of a standard issue size there. So usually it's a little bit of a custom frame job. But, every single time my wife drags me to one of those stores, I always see a big sign on the door that says, somewhere between 40 to 60% off custom framing. It changes every week, but it's always somewhere between 40 and 60% off whatever their fixed price was. Why don't you just make it cheaper and they don't have to have a sale every week? I don't know. But apparently their marketing model is working for them. So whether it's, AC Moore, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, whatever your store is, there's typically somewhere where you can get it framed, hopefully by a decently trained professional that'll protect your uncut sheet forever. And we'll be giving out quite a few of them. First place gets one, second through fourth get one, and then 3 random uncut sheets randomly to 5 through 8 to the first player who misses the cut. So that's may not necessarily be number 9 because there may be play-in games. So it probably will be number 9, but maybe it might be someone a little further down. And somebody randomly who just plays all 10 of their games. So that could be you. Just play your 10 games. We got a bunch of rares. We got a bunch of prizes. We got some signed cards that we're going to be giving out. I have sent packages to 2000 World Champion Matt Sokol and 2000 runner-up Yannick Lapointe up in Canada. And they have packages of cards that were in their actual decks from the 2000 World Championship, and they will be signing those cards and sending them back to me, and we will be giving some of those out as prizes. You could get a hidden base objective, a bring 'em before me objective, starting locations, interrupts, characters, all kinds of good stuff. Maybe even a sand whirl. Uh, Signed by Matt or Yannick. We also have this year's top 8 alternate image foils. All top 8 finishers get them for all the majors this year. It's the Hoth Ice Plains Virtual and Jakku Ray's Encampment with alternate image picks. Similar to what we've seen with Vader's Castle and Luke's Hut in previous years. I don't know if I still have any of those handy. Hey, I do. What do you know? Look at that. So we've seen the alternate image, Luke's little hut, the saddle that we've given out in previous years. And I think I have a Vader's Castle here. Yep. And an alternate image extended foil of Vader's Castle. Those are what we gave out in a previous year. This was what, the 2019 AI? Yep, 2019 foils. So who knows what exactly they will look like. The graphics team does, and they do a great job. I know we just had Ming on Hollow Theater talking about some of his graphic design work that he's done for the PC. Top 4 finishers. This is something we don't normally get to give away because normally we buy the trophies in advance. So not a lot of people have their trophy with their name actually engraved on it. Because we're doing these events online, we don't have to have the trophies ordered in advance, so we can give them out and take photos and stuff at the actual tournament. We'll be mailing them out to everybody after the tournament, which means we can actually put your name on the damn thing, which I think is pretty cool. Because like I said, not a lot of people have those. If you play all 10 games, you get a foil Death Star 2 Chasm Walkway. And we got some sealed Death Star 2 starter decks to give out. This is pretty cool too. We got the GEMP booster pack. Contains 4 randomly assigned AI cards. And then there's some other GEMP booster packs and GEMP Gold as bounty hunting prizes. Bounty hunting? What's that about? Ho ho. So Jared dug into the Wayback Machine and found the top 100 rated players in Decipher's ranking list. What was the date on that? Let's just pull it up, take a look. I think this is sometime in 2001. Yeah, this looks like this may be September 2001, maybe? September 20th, 2001. So right before Freedom Con would have happened in 2001, right after September 11th, when Decipher canceled their World Championship in 2001 and pretty much wrapped up shop. Freedom Con happened as an independent World Championship that year, which was won by Mr. Bastian Winklehouse. That was his first World Championship trophy. But these are the rankings of all the players, top 100. So if your name is on this list, and there are a handful of people whose name appears on this list, and you are still active, and you are playing in the Worlds 2000 event, Hayes Hunter, Bastian Winklehouse, Paul Todd Feldman, Steve Baroni, Brad Kipple, Matt Sokol. I don't know who this is. I'm sorry I can't give you a shout out. I don't know whose username that is. Does anybody know who that is? If you know in the chat, throw it out there. But lots of good names on this list. Obviously, Hayes Hunter, Johnny Chu, Clint Hayes, the Terwilligers, TJ Kyle, Matt Lush, the old schooler, Jim Lee, still plays in Minnesota events. Yannick is on here, the world's runner-up. This is his playtest partner, Dominic Goudreau. Mike Dalton was the guy in New Jersey who pretty much dominated our leagues, who I pretty much made myself a better player trying to figure out how to beat Mike, which I did do a few times. Paul Myers, who may not have signed up for the Predator Death Star 2 event yet, but certainly has been active in the OCS and whatnot. Future world champion Kevin Shannon, Pete Stradowski of the Albany crew, who hopefully will get to play in this event as well. He's still fairly active. Some of these guys have moved on. There's Yannick. B. Fred. How can we forget about B. Fred? Of course he's on there. Also hasn't signed up for the tournament yet, so we'll have to start bugging him. There's Paul Feldman right there. There's Raph, the world champ. Steve Baroni, two-time MPC champion. Was killing it even back in the Decipher days. Brad Kipple right there was also a New York guy. Lives down out somewhere, I believe now I'm in the Atlanta area, but didn't quite realize he was from the New York area originally. John Vandermeer, who broke more than a few decks. There's the world champ Matt Sokol. Neil Rozzi, the guy who ran Deck Tech for all those years. There he is right there. Matt Berta, good buddy of mine out in Vegas. Hasn't played in years, unfortunately. Don Kitzman, another guy from up northwest who broke former world champion Gary Carmen. Game designer Mike Gerard. Rules guy Dan Bojanowski was also up there. Joe Gianetti, he's still active. He played in the World Championships. Maybe we can get Joe signed up to play as well. Increase that bounty a little bit. Unfortunately, this button doesn't work, so we can't see the next 100, which is probably where you'll find a lot more familiar names, possibly even me in that next 100 list. But unfortunately, that part of the website was not bookmarked. Still cool to look at, though. But yeah, could get some bounties. What are we giving out for a bounty prize? Alternate image pack and 15 GEMP gold for each win. We keep talking about this alternate image pack. I think I have one. I don't think I opened mine. I think I decided to save it for a show. Let's go to the old deck builder here. My cards. Packs and boxes. Oh, I did. I saved it. So if you haven't gotten one of these alternate image packs yet. Oh, hey, I've got two. Oh, cool. We can open them both. I'm really bad at this choice thing, picking packs and whatnot, because I don't do the my card stuff too often. It's also why I have a bunch of these Reflections 2 and 3 just sitting here unopened. But these alternate image booster packs, so there's, I want to say like 20 or so alternate image cards that have shown up the last couple of years. We've done some for the online play weekend with the hollow foils being a little alternate image. The prizes, like I just mentioned, with the Vader's Castle and stuff like that. So they kind of, not all of the images are not available in GEMP. So we've kind of, they created these booster packs. The programming and the design marketing teams worked together, came up with these bad boys. Let's open one. So instead of having the regular version of some of these cards, I could play with the alternate image of Anakin. Not too fond of that image, personally. This Grievous I do like. I think this is a pretty cool picture of Grievous. This is a great one of Jakku. And that's an alternate of Green Leader in Green Squadron 1, which is also a pretty good picture. So I like these three quite a bit. I was never fond of this Anakin. I will admit that. I was never fond of this image. I don't know why. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something about it. Maybe because the way it's superimposed over the background or something. I don't know. It just looks off to me. Oh, we have another German. Welcome. We love having our European players in our community. And we'll open the other one. There's some better images. Jango Fett's a great one. This is a great Slave 1 Symbol of Fear. This was like a league prize or something like that, like 3 or 4 years ago. Online play weekend, maybe something like that. There's Isla, who's one of the hologram foils from a couple years ago for online weekend. And this is the Scarif landing site, the docking bay. That's a pretty cool image as well. So now I can put these alternate image cards into my decks and use them instead of the regular versions. Just something, nice little token to kind of fluff up my my decks a little bit there. So we're certainly excited about getting some new content into GEMP, being able to give people gold as prizes. When you have gold, you can buy packs, you can buy booster boxes, and you can buy foil versions of cards. There's a whole process for how to do that. You need 4 copies of the original and like 20 gold, and then you can turn it into a foil version. All right, I'll open one more just because we'll open one of these, see what we get. So this is a Reflections 3 pack. What would I get? It's a Bosk and a Houndstooth, a bunch of rares, Crossfire. It's the Bulbous Pod Racer. I apologize, my internet connection is feeling a little slow today. So a foil Sebulbous Pod Racer. That's disappointing. But I got, you know, defensive shields are the great ones to get first to try and foilize, because those are the ones that go in every deck, so you'll see them the most often. And Reflections 3 packs are a great way to get extra, all the defensive shields, because like I said, you need 4 copies. But then you get some other cards, like Bosk and Houndstooth is pretty playable. Now, of course, it's the non-V version, so if you wanted the virtual version, you have to get that separately and get 4 copies of that to then make a foil virtual one. That could be something interesting. Give out some packs of just virtual cards so people don't have to buy the virtual version. Yoda, all right, there we go. It's a little better. Yoda foil, I'll take that. This guy's trending upwards lately. Blizzard 2. Propaganda Bomb. That was always a thing, right? They want to drop their Jedi Luke and drain for 3. Well, there you go. Take a propaganda. Now you lose 2 force. Draw and drain for 3 again. Bam, take another propaganda. Now you lose 4 force. Now we're even. We both have lost 6 cards. Of course, I put 2 cards on the table to do it, so I'm still technically behind. So now I got to make you drain for 3 one more time, so I can hit you for 6 force. Now we're even, because I've lost 9 force and I've put 3 cards in play, and I've done 12 damage to you. But they're 6s, so, you know. Yeah, it's a great Slave 1 image. I really like that one a lot. So, that's the big thing that's coming up. That starts in about 2 weeks. The other thing, in case you missed it, and 20 of you have not missed this yet, because you've already signed up for it, the 2021 Match Play Championship coming at you again. We got to play it online again. We're still not cleared to have large gatherings in hotels because of this stupid virus thing that everybody's still scared of. I won't get into that. So we got 20 people signed up. Here's all the details. Taco Bill is your tournament director, point man this year. He'll be running all the fun stuff. We'll get the bracket done. Sign-ups have to be done by April 11th, so we can finalize the bracket on the 12th and the 13th, and then I think they're going to reveal it on Hollow Theater on April 14th is the plan. Tournament itself will take place April 24th and 25th for your main rounds, and then your final 4 will probably take place on May 1st rather. Got to submit your deck lists. Got some cash prizes. Got a consolation bracket in case you get bumped out in the first round or 2. I think it's first 2 rounds. You get to jump into the consolation event instead. Anyone who doesn't want to participate, as part of the registration, it'll ask you, do you want to participate, yes or no? So if you get knocked out of the main event, you can still come back on another weekend and do the consolation event too. Possibly pick up $100 or $50. Only costs you 25 to play, so you can still double up your money. I believe we've already got 20 people signed up. Here's all the rules. Here's the prize support stuff. Participants, AI, Director Krennic. Okay. Chewbacca v. Slip. Top 8, get the Ice Planes again. First 50 players to register, get the Reflections 4 booster pack. There's a good motivation to sign up quick. You know those awesome Reflection 4 packs, these little red guys that we were giving out a little while ago? Been mailing out to everybody. They've got the cool, where's my foils go? Ah. These are the guys that had some of these preview cards, like the new Emperor. Can't really see that too well, but had a preview card of stuff like the new Emperor, the new Rey, that's coming out. Had some other slips and stuff in there. What else did we have? There was the alternate image of the new card, the Steadfast. Can't really see that too well. These don't show up very well. Or how about that Mandalorian guy, Dean Djarin? Maybe a Japanese Tantive 4. So all kinds of cool stuff come in those Reflections 4 booster packs. So obviously you don't want to miss out on your chance to get those. Just have to be one of the first 50 people to sign up. 20 of you already did, so there's 30 spots left. That's 30 booster packs up for grabs. All you got to do is just, clear your weekend. Not entirely clear it. You'll have some gaps between time where you can get some stuff done. You're playing from home, so it's not like you'll just be completely out of the way for a while. You can take a break from playing some Star Wars between rounds. Be like, all right, I don't got to be back for like the next 45 minutes. Let me go see if the wife or the kids need anything I can take care of real fast. Have some lunch with them, something, keep them occupied, queue up the next DVD, whatever you got going on, uh, and then jump back in for the next round. We got some other cool stuff. We got mugs with the PC logo. Ooh. Other random prizes, and then more of those AI booster packs. So that we just opened. So lots of cool stuff going on there. All right, we're going to check out some live games in just a minute, but I did want to catch up real quick on the OCS standings. So we got the official word that this Friday, the errata and the VSET 14 stuff all goes live. So in just 4 more days, you'll have a whole new meta to play in. So if you like the current meta, now's your chance to get your OCS games in while you still can. If you are waiting for a big meta shift, so something that you don't like playing against will be gone, or something that you do like playing with might have a better chance of competing. 4 days. He's got 4 days. Those will all go live this Friday, and then you'll have some time. You'll have about 10 or 11 days to crank out the rest of your OCS games. But we'll take a look at the old leaderboard, and there are a handful of people who have finished their games so far. We got Kyle sitting at the first place right now with the highest 10-2. Gavin and MHT are also there at 10-2. Bastion, who already qualified month 1, is right here at 9-1, so he could certainly play a spoiler a little bit. Both he and Brian Fred qualified last month, so he could get up here and certainly break this up a little bit or push everybody down, and possibly create an at-large bid if Brian also makes another run. A little early for that, but he's already qualified, so more than likely or not, if he gets one of the top 2 spots, it passes to third. It would be unlikely. Brian certainly could make a run. I don't think Brian has played any games yet this month. Oh, there he is. He's 1-3. Okay, so Brian's not getting into the top, so you don't got to worry about that. So we can exclude Bastion from the conversation, which is a rare thing to be able to do. Paul Meyer sitting there at 7-1. No reply. David Wood 6-0, off to a great start. Halfway home, right? And we got a couple of 3-0s down here. I'm 3-0. Joe's 3-0. And that's about it so far. So yeah, a handful of guys finished their games. Some people just going through going through getting games in when they have time to play, not necessarily dependent on the meta. It's like, look, I have some time to play right now. If I wait until the 20th to start playing all my games, I got to get 12 games in 11 days. Depending on your schedule and what you have coming up, that may not work out too well for you. I know I've tried it a couple times where it's like, I'm not going to play any games for like the first week. I'm going to let all these crazy guys who play all 12 of their games in the first like 3 hours just get all their games done with, and then I'll find some games later in the month. And when you get to those last couple days, it can be very hard to find games because a lot of people have already finished, or a lot of people have given up because they're like, oh, I started 0-3. I don't feel like playing 5 more games just to get the foil slip. Screw it. I'm done. I'll just wait. So, you can really be scrambling those last 2 or 3 days to get your games in. So, something to keep in mind. Um, and remember, too, there is no OCS month in April. We skip April because we got the MPC and we got the Premier Death Star 2 event. So, no OCS in April. All right. Let's see what kind of games we got going on here that we can look at. So we got an OCS game here that's Diplo ISB. Let's pop into here real quick, see what's going on. Not looking good for London Sean right now. He's got a lot of cards on the board, but not a lot of cards left. Diplo also has a lot of cards on the board. But it looks like Owen and Baru are getting the snot kicked out of them. We'll see if Lenny has a Hujix, because otherwise this game is going to take pretty much take... Oh, he's got Savrip out. There you go. So there's a card that we don't see all that often these days, Mantelian Savrip. Losing any battle. Character, starships, vehicles forfeited directly from your hand for their full forfeit value to reduce your battle damage and attrition. Well, Lenny ditched Savrip. He ditched Obi. He ditched Jin to soak up pretty much all the damage. But I guess he was going to have to lose Owen and Baru as well, and decided to just... Oh, sorry. Sean conceded. Yeah. Because, Lenny's going to drain for a couple of damage here and there, and obviously he's ahead, and he's got Savrip, and he's going to retrieve, and Sean's last-ditch effort here was to try and crush Owen and Baru, but a copy of Cold Feet or a Masterful Move combo would have been useful to get rid of Mantelian Savrip. The non-combo probably also cancels it too, but it's funner to play the combo. And we got another OCS game going on here. Court versus Hidden Base. We don't get to see Hidden Base all that often. This could be interesting as well. Oh, Joker King might be watching. Looks like in the chat he was talking about Gold Leader in Gold Squadron 1. Or Green Leader in Green Squadron 1. So we got Joker King on court. He's got a... yeah. My internet's been bad the last 2 days. I apologize for that, but we're going to see if we can't muddle through it. He's got a 13 card hand and 26 cards down. Adam's got a 32 cards left down, but only 3 in hand. So they're fairly even, but Adam with no hand at this point. Not in a great spot. Alright, we got a little bit of a mains for variety here. We got Obi, we got Qui-Gon, we got Jin at the pit going against Jabba and Velkin Tazeri. Endor's out. No strike planning, so he didn't lock the force activation out. What's this? That's Corellia. Alright, we got an EPP Mara. We got a Greedo. That's going to stop Qui-Gon from swinging. Mara can hit Jin, make him have to forfeit one of the other guys for forfeit. Oh, there's Dr. E, who he just picked up off his lost pile with the no escape. That can take Jin right out of the battle altogether. I can't imagine Court has this high of destiny to go after someone like Obi. We got Battle Order First Strike out as well, so again with no force saved, Adam's not going to be able to play any interrupts either. So if he had any type of defensive cards, he is swapping Snap Wegsley and a Hoojix combo from a hand to get Naboo out of his lost pile. So he may have top decked one of his systems, and now he's going to dig it back out of his lost pile. I guess he is playing the full 5 systems: Endor, Camino, Kifix, Corellia, and then Naboo being the 5th one, I guess, that he needs to flip his objective, so he can cancel these ground drains. He's got to get rid of some spaceships, though, first. What do we got? We got a Woof and an Ellis and Hinthra. We got a Zuckuss with a Ponda Baba. So Ponda's going to add the Destiny to Attrition. Now we got Forlom, who's going to add a Destiny with Zuckuss. So this is 2 Battle Destiny plus a Destiny to Attrition from Ponda Baba, because he's with a Smuggler Woof. That Destiny is +2, so that's certainly going to do some damage. This is the R2 and Red 5 combo, not the virtual Red 5 that's completely immune to attrition. This is the one that's only immune to less than 5. We got a Hark Seth. He adds a Destiny to Power. We got a Green Leader in Gold Squadron 1 here, who adds a Battle Destiny because he's with the Red 5. So Destiny to Power, 2 Battle Destiny against 2 Battle Destiny, and a Destiny to Attrition. Yeah, the new one has some cool bells and whistles to it, but it's not quite growing on me yet. There also seems to be a little bit of a lag loading all the extra graphics and stuff, so I don't know. I'm old-fashioned. All right, so light side had 3 to power, so they're up to 21, so they're ahead by 8. Dark side's drawn a couple of 3s here for Battle Destiny, so they've got 6 total, plus we'll get another attrition draw after that. Light side's definitely going to be ahead on power. They're up by 2, and they've got 2 Destiny. Does he have an all wings to spin for like a 6? He can't play it if he does. We got a Woof is subtracting 1 from these draws. Could we see a legendary Starfighter? All right. So 26 to 17. It's going to be 5 from the location, which is going to be 2 things. Could be Ponda and Forlom. There's an extra 5. That's an extra 7 to attrition. That's going to sting. That's 13 attrition. Which, you know, Luke and Red 5 cover 12. So it's like, ouch. Hark 4. That's 9. 13. You lose everything but Luke, I think. Just covers it. 9 and 4. That would cover it. So you'd keep Luke and Red 5 and dump everything else. Joker King's going to peel 2 of his destinies, and then he's going to lose Forlom to cover the 5, right? Because of its court. So the bounty hunters get the forfeit bonus. On the 0 side there, they all forfeit for +2. And now he'll battle here on the ground, and now he can retrieve with Scum and Villainy. So he could retrieve that Forlom and retrieve that P-59. That's why court is such a pain to deal with sometimes, because they just keep recycling the same characters over and over. You're like, I just killed those guys over there. And they're like, yep, and now they're back in my deck, and they'll be right back next turn to kill some more people. Certainly feels like light side's at a big disadvantage here. And when you factor in the hand size difference and stuff going on right now too. Hidden base isn't. They're not going to want to. If hidden base can flip, they can cancel the drains on the ground, and they can kind of choke uh, Darkseid's ability to draw cards. But you don't want to flip until you can get rid of the ships that they have, and that's not an easy thing to do against Court. They have guys with good forfeit. Uh, Wolf subtracting from the destinies, bounty hunters forfeiting for +2. Even when you do kill a ship, they can always Jabba's Haven to get it back. So there's definitely some difficulty involved with clearing them out in space. Now, if Luke had like an X-wing cannon and could go to town and just start picking people off, that'd be a very different situation. But Joker King's going to double up Mara Jade's power here. So now he's got an 8-power lead, and they're both going to draw a destiny. Probably going to see Obi go away here. Maybe Qui-Gon. I don't know. Depends on how his deck is designed. He's got a Bacta tank. That's another card we don't see too often. But it does pop up sometimes in like Premier Death Star 2 format stuff. It's expensive to put on the table. Costs 4 to put the effect out on table. It's not immune to alter or anything like that, so it's a big commitment. But once per, whatever, you lose a guy, you put him in the tank. Then you spend their deploy cost to take them back into your hand. So if you have a guy who's got good game text, good ability, and a low deploy cost, good forfeit ratio, something like that, whether it's Ray, somebody who's ideal for that, you spend 4 to pick her back up, 4 to put her back down, get another card out of the use pile every turn. Every time you put her back in play, it's not like a once per game thing with her. Luke would be a great one. 3 to pick him back up. He deploys for free aboard R2 and Red 5. Some other pilots like that, like Wedge and whatnot, usually have pretty decent ratios. But with only 2 cards in hand here, not really a whole lot that Adam's going to be able to do this turn. It's basically going to be retrieve 1 with Luke, which he does to get Obi back. He could possibly deploy his 5th system, or get another system with hidden base if he has any other ones. And then run away. Alright, so the other card in his hand was Solo. He revealed to try to match. There was no Falcon. No, it's the virtual Obi. That the new Obi-Wan, in addition to doing other stuff, once per game you can exchange 2 cards from hand to get any 1 card back from your lost pile. So he used that exchange text to get Naboo back, which I guess he lost to an early drain or damage point and needed his 5th system. No, Adam, that's not when you flip. So, once you've deployed your 5 battleground systems and your hidden base, you can flip this at any time. And then your opponent probes during any deploy phase. They can probe. Alright, so I guess he's going to move everybody over here. He's going to move down here. Now, Ellison Hinthra is only hyperspeed 4. He moved from 7 to 2. So Zuckuss could follow, but Ellis can't follow Luke to Kifix. Alright, he flipped a little early. It's not bad. I guess he's going to use it to cancel. You can cancel any drain. One opponent's force drain. So they're both drains of 2. The drain at Camino, and then Velkin to Zeri Pumps the drain up at the pit. Present at a pit. Adds 1 to your force drains here. Alright. Joker King uses his once per game Jabba's Haven to get back his Dr. E from his lost pile. That's who he lost in this battle. So I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see that Dr. E come right back down here to the audience chamber, and Adam's going to be in a world of hurt here. He saves 2 force, which he may need to play interrupts because of the battle order first strike. But yeah, Dr. E with Aura, whether he just shoots solo and takes him out of the battle, if he feels confident about his destiny, Joker King can go for big air and try and pop Qui-Gon. I mean, Aura does get 2 draws against a Jedi, total +1. So if you're going to take out a Jedi, she's a pretty good person to use to do that. But yeah, not looking so good for the hidden base player right now. He loses an It Can Wait and a Rebel Barrier. It Can Wait. We were just talking about that card today. It's a card you don't see all that often. Use 3 force to place an opponent's just deployed character, vehicle, starship, weapon, or device in their hand. On their next turn, that card or one of the same title may deploy for free. So they play something, you don't like it, you play It Can Wait, you put that card back in their hand, and then next turn they get to deploy that card or a copy of the same title, because, you know, if you do something like Grimtosh or whatnot, who's to know if it's the same card or if they drew extra? Yeah. So rather than try and have to keep track of the same physical card, the card was eroded a number of years ago to just say, you know, that card or the same or copy with the same title, just so there's no confusion, and then they get to put it down for free. So now is where Darkseid gets to do some probing. Yes, they're going to probe. We got a Stinger to Naboo. He's going to put a card from hand there. He probed Kamino. We knew it wasn't Kamino. You wouldn't have moved away from Kamino if it was his hidden base, and then flipped. But I guess to be thorough, some people like to put cards there just in case, because maybe they're bluffing you. Maybe they're like, there's no way it could be Kamino, right? There's no way you'd move away and then flip when I'm sitting at your hidden base. That's just silly, right? Of course it's not this one. And then they move away and you're like, haha, it was that one. I don't really know that that works too often, so maybe 1 out of 50 times somebody overthinks it that much and runs away without probing first. Alright, Dr. E is going to hit the table. Solo's going to use his once per game text to play the Rebel Barrier he just top decked to exclude Dr. E from the battle, or prevent him from battling or moving for the rest of the turn. So that could certainly be helpful. It might save Adam a little bit. I'm sure Joker King's got more guys. Yeah, he's got a Reese. Okay. So now he's got 3 aliens together. So that's going to give Lady Proxima an extra destiny because she has to be with 2 aliens. Aura can still shoot here. Reese makes bounty hunters immune to Clash of Sabers and Rebel Barrier. Wouldn't help Dr. E though. Whenever you draw a destiny of 3, you can choose. Either activate a force, draw the bottom card of your used pile, or put a card from your hand on top of used pile. This deck does have a decent amount of threes between some interrupts and some characters. So, Joker King will initiate the battle. He's going to retrieve 2 more with Scum. Basically, retrieved his entire lost pile at this time. When Scum really gets rolling like this, it can be hard to compete with. Dr. E's excluded. Or is going to play it safe and just go ahead and shoot solo. Especially now that Dr. E's been removed from the battle. It's like, just play it safe, shoot solo. He's hit, he's forfeit 0. The Battle Destiny gets rid of Qui-Gon, and Tatooine is all yours once again. We'll see when he draws Battle Destiny whether or not he would have hit Qui-Gon, which is always just, a fun thing to think about, but it's one of those plays that isn't always worth the risk. Especially, you're ahead, you're winning the game as it is, you're ahead on power in the battle, you're drawing 2 Battle Destiny. Take the safe bet. Maybe you actually get Qui-Gon and a couple of overflow out of the battle just by doing it straight up. You're ahead by power on 5, and you're getting an extra Battle Destiny. Ooh, Qui-Gon swings at Aura and misses with a bad timing draw of a Redemption. Redemption goes well with the Bacta tank, though. Bacta tank patients deploy aboard for free, so you can just keep bringing your people out of the tank, redeploying them directly. You don't have to pay the Force to take them back into hand and then the Force to redeploy them. You just right out of the tank, right to the Redemption for free. Alright, so Darkseid would have missed if they had gone for Qui-Gon. They would have drawn a 6 total and been just short. Alright, 2 and a 1. Not getting any overflow this battle. But you had to go for it, right? You're still clearing the location. Qui-Gon will cover exactly enough. He might be 7-8, isn't he? He's 7-8. Yeah, so he covers with 1 extra. Darkseid's going to move their ships. Ellis and Hinthra will go to Endor. Depending on what Joker King has in these cards and these extra. Zuckuss can't make it to Corellia, but Stinger can. He can move Stinger to Corellia. He can move Zuckuss to Naboo, just to spread out his drain potential. And then, process of elimination, realize that Kifix is probably the hidden base. That's the other option. He can move Guri and Stinger to Kifix, move Zuckuss to Kifix. Kind of stack that up with extra power and Battle Destinies to take on Luke. And then just move Ellis and Hinthra over to Endor. Yep. Draw 2 or 3 cards. No, he can draw 1 card. I guess he could draw another one. Pay 1 to draw the last card. And then you'll activate 1 with wipe in case he needs to play any interrupts or anything. He just needs a card or 2 in hand so he can make sure he can probe those 2 systems. Start with Kifix first. Because this thing is hyperspeed 7, so he could have gone all the way to Corellia if he had wanted to. The fact that he only went to Kifix, I'm thinking Kifix is the hidden base. Just a hunch. No, he can't draw 3 cards. Thanks, Bill. I'm trying to figure out what exactly he can do this turn. He's staring down 13 power, 2 battle destiny. Ponda is not with a smuggler, so he's not adding a destiny to attrition right now. But it's still 2 battle destiny because of Guri. Light side is limited to 1 battle destiny because of Guri. Unless he's got a spin, an all wings combo. Or an X-Wing cannon. But what seems likely here is that Adam's going to get probed, lose his hidden base, and then just be completely too far behind to catch up. Or not. Maybe those 8 cards in his hand are awesome. He's going to come down, he's going to crush Zuckuss and Ponda Baba and the stinger, shoot the stinger, make it immediately lost, and beat the crap out of Zuckuss. He probes Endor. Was not Endor. Now you may be asking yourself, why didn't he just probe Kifix first? If you're thinking about upcoming match play scenarios, how best to maximize your differential, then by probing the hidden base last, because then all these cards go to your use pile, so you get more cards out of your hand back into your deck to kind of fluff up your differential a little bit. In a regular game, differential doesn't really mean anything, but if you're starting to think ahead for the upcoming match play championship, which starts in a month, Joker King is also in the final 4 of the GEMP PC, which is going on right now. That's the online version of the MPC, the free version. Um, that Batmouse has run for 5 years now. Okay, so Adam's got Tycho, who can cancel immunity to attrition of a starfighter. And now we've got Ray, who I've mentioned before, works really well with that Bacta tank. Just keep popping her in and out and keep taking cards out of the use pile. She adds 1 to your total. Plus gives him an extra enough ability, because Tycho's only ability 2, right? Yep, Tycho's ability 2. So that was only 6 abilities. Now he's up to 7 ability. Joker King will probe Kifix. Does not look like it was it. It was Corellia. Would you look at that? And we got a gold leader and gold one also making an appearance. Alright, so this will certainly help things out. Opponent cannot react to here. Not that he'd have much to react with because Greedo's already in play. But he does also have to use a force to draw a card for Battle Destiny. He only has 1 force saved. So he will only be able to pay 1 to draw the first Destiny and will not be able to draw both. So Light side's getting 1 Destiny, adding 1 to your total. Dark side's getting 1 Destiny. There are no smugglers there. There's Radis just for some forfeit fodder, I guess. This is hidden base against Court of the Vile Gangster. Court Scum. This will be a good battle for Adam. He's definitely got some. He's got him by 8 power here. They're both only drawing 1 destiny. I mean, could we see a legendary starfighter? I don't think he gets both ships here. That's really all that would matter. Would be if he had gotten rid of both ships here, he'd have a very strong chance. But I think the best he can do would be to get rid of Guri and the Stinger. I mean, they cover 11. He's ahead by 8. That's still going to leave Zuckuss, who can just move over to Corellia and probe the final system. If he had been able to clear both ships, and then Ellis was kind of stuck over here and had to kind of make its way through this minefield of light side ships, where light side could just kind of go camp out at Naboo and Nal Hutta, which is the only, because he has to stop in between. He can't make it all the way. So he'd have to move to one of these 2 systems to then be able to get to Corellia. That could be problematic. Now, there's also a 4th ship likely to be floating around in Joker King's deck, being Jabba Space Cruiser as well, which could also make an appearance and just go right to Corellia and probe. He does have the all wings, so he's going to get the 6. And light side, dark side draws a 4. So they're down 28 to 17. They're down 11, which is perfect. That's what Guri and Stinger cover, is 11. If Adam's got the legendary starfighter, this would be the time that he would play it. Is security precautions worth it these days? There's not a lot of hidden base being played these days. Hidden base is really more of a fun Fred kind of deck at this point. People like it. It does some interesting things, but it's a little slow. It can be a little slow on the setup. I mean, you can also, and then, it doesn't typically have room for a strong ground package, so a lot of the ground heavy decks like Hunt Down, which can do consistent visage damage, can get extra drains in, things like that. There's cards that prevent your drains from being canceled with like Overseeing It Personally. Um, that kind of stuff. So Hidden Base is not in a great spot. It's probably like, we'll call it a tier 2 deck. I don't want to think it's lower than that, because the instant you start undervaluing Hidden Base is when you can really be in trouble. And there are some different versions of it. Obviously, we've seen the Baragwin version with the weapons, where you just keep forfeiting the weapons around. Nope, he lost. He lost a card. He lost Guri. He lost Ponda Baba. So he kept both ships. And Adam's going to be waiting for him. This is the unfortunate problem. He moves Luke over, but he can't keep 7 ability at both locations, because of how he forfeited. If he had kept Radis, he would have had Ray, Falcon, Radis would have been 7 ability. He could have moved them over to Corellia, but then you'd have Luke here with just either Gold Leader or Tycho, which doesn't get you 7. So there's really wasn't a way he could have forfeited stuff to keep 7 ability at both locations. All right. Now, the other advantage to moving Luke over is he gets to cancel a drain to at least save himself 2 force. So, I mean, Adam's doing a good job of making him work for it. He is starting to run out of clock time, though. There's a bit of a differential here, 27 minutes to 14 minutes. Joker King reveals with Lady Proxima the top 3 cards of his deck. Takes 1 alien he finds there into hand. Gets Zam Wessel. Nuclear Wessel. I know, wrong franchise. Zam draws if unable to otherwise while alone, and only while alone. Zam's with a droid or something like that. Gets jammed up pretty good. If they lose a leader from the battle, they lose 2 force. Joker King checks his destinies. He's got 2-1-4-4-2. Thank you for calling that out for us. If just lost, take a card out of your force pile as well. But is a pilot, does provide 2 ability, does provide 6 forfeit in this deck because Bounty Hunter. And he will initiate the battle in space. He's going to pay 2. He's going to get back the Guri. He's going to get back the Ponda Baba that he lost in the last battle. He's going to play the Hujix combo from hand to add a battle destiny because Guri's not there, so he does get a second destiny. He's got to beat 10 with 2 draws to get rid of both ships. Darkseid only draws a Greedo. That's just Destiny 2. That'll get rid of Tycho. But now they're going to be down 2 Destiny. Frey adds 1 to the total. What do we got? A 5 and a 3. That's 8. Just misses. Plus 1 makes it 9. Zam and the Stinger will cover. Maybe that's why he lost both pilots last time, because he was afraid of legendary. He'll lose Zam. Zam will let him take any card from his force pile, so he gets the best card out of there. There goes Tycho. And there goes the Stinger. No legendary. So Zuckuss lives. Zuckuss will get to move in front of Luke. And we'll see if Joker King has anything. Yeah, that's true. Probably was the good old 8 p.m. refresh when GEMP cycles. Like I said, certainly an interesting game, and Adam is certainly making him work for it. Curious. Zuckuss is going to go to Nalhutta. Is he going to move the Alice to Naboo? Nope. He's just going to take his time and draw. That's interesting. I mean, Joker King knows he's ahead. He doesn't need to cancel the hidden base to win the game at this point. He's got Battle Order out. His opponent has to pay to force drain. It's only a drain of 2 at Kifix and a drain of 1 at Corellia if he wants to spend all 6 force, plus a force to retrieve with Luke. So he doesn't feel the need to push the game to probe to find that hidden base to win. He's already winning and doesn't need to give his opponent an opportunity to get back in the game. The other advantage he has working for him is the clock situation, of course, too, because he's basically, 24 minutes to 12 minutes. He's got a significant clock advantage. So Adam's going to have to do something drastic in order to have a chance to win the game, and overflowing Zuckuss could be just the opportunity he needs. Adam will pay to drain for the 1 site, get rid of a None Shall Pass and a Force Push from hand. 2 nice high Destiny 5s that he can retrieve the next time he battles. Hey, we got a Corn Horn and Rogue 9. So Luke does retrieve. Now we got Corn Horn showing up over here. Permanent Pilot, ability 4. Weapon Destiny draws are -2. When he's with another Snub Fighter, attrition against opponent is +1. but alas, it will be met with an Imperial barrier. Yeah, Bill, that's what I would have expected. Move the Ellis to Naboo. That way, to probe the hidden base if you want. First off, he increases his drain. Makes it a drain of 2 as opposed to 1. Um, if he's going to get the drain. But yes, then he has the possibility of being able to jump both ships to Corellia to sit in front of Luke and then probe the hidden base. But I'm sure Joker King was probably just thinking, I don't need to probe the hidden base to win, so let me just avoid the damage. I guess there's like a 1% chance that he moved to Nal Hutta because he forgot it's his cart. I mean, no, we're not. Gonna, I'm not even going to say that out loud. I won't even finish that thought. Yeah, he's going to probe Nal Hutta. I guess technically he could to put another card back if he wants to, right? Or can you only probe your opponent's systems? At each system they occupy during the play phase. So yeah, no, they can probe whenever they want. And now he's going to shift over and fortify this Corellia drain a little bit and really make him have to put something substantial in front of it to find it. His other option would be to have, if he has a Gick, then he can just absorb all the damage. But he does run the risk of the legendary then. But Adam's only got one card in his hand, and it's kind of been that card for a little while. If he had played it earlier, if he had the legendary, he would have played it on the Falcon the turn before. And he hasn't drawn any since then, so. These are drains of 2, 1, and 1, but 2 of those drains will get canceled by the hidden base objective. So he's just really going to drain for 1 this turn, which he'll then be able to retrieve with Luke. So it's kind of a net 0 balance here, which is one of the advantages of hidden base. If you can clear out their systems, their ships rather, and keep them from coming to space and finding your stuff, all right, well, there you go. There's a Dengar and punishing one. And then he'll probe the last system. So maybe that's why he was already thinking ahead. He found the hidden base. It was Corellia. The objective is out of play because he had no intention of moving to Corellia. He was thinking, I'm going to draw my other ship, or I just drew my other ship. And then he's just going to move Dengar away. Oh, he used Probot as one of his probe cards. And Hidden Base says if you probe with probe droids, you retrieve a force. So he used Probot, who is a probe droid. Oh, that's P-59. Probe droid. So that gave him the 1 force retrieval. Now he's playing I've lost R2. Use a force to deploy on a starship with an astromech or an astromech droid. Target that and draw destiny. If destiny greater than 1, the astromech is lost and you lose the effect. Or the astromech droid icon is cancelled, which then gives them the ability to add 1. Otherwise, the effect is lost. So by drawing greater than 1, which he did because he tracked around the barrier he played the previous turn. So now R2 and Red 5 here has no astromech. The nav computer icon here is canceled, which means that it cannot move through hyperspace. So now R2 can't chase him to any of these other systems. So he not only did he cancel his hidden base, but now he's going to move away and not have to worry about Luke following him. He'll put those two ships together back at Kifix. Move Ellis. I mean, I'm not sure why he didn't battle with the Ellis and Hinthrow, to be honest, either. Again, if you're just thinking it's a situation where, you don't need to do anything else, and Joker King's just kind of playing the, I'll just wait him out kind of game. Me personally, I like to speed things along so I can get to the next game a little bit. Maybe that's why I make some mistakes, because I get a little too ahead of myself. Um, but in this situation here, where's your downside to battling Corran Horn? He's immune to less than 4. He's not adding. He's power 5. You're power 7. You're subtracting 1 from his battle destiny. Chances are you clear Corran Horn out of there. That's one more card in his lost pile. You initiate battle. You get to retrieve 2 of those cards with scum. You get your 2 5s back. I mean, he had a couple of force saved. Maybe he was afraid of that this card in hand is who knows what. A spiral. It's not an X-Wing cannon because Corran subtracts from weapon draws. But he found the hidden base now, so now the ground damage is going to start to pile up. And Darkseid will just start to lose some cards from hand. Adam's just going to spend his 9 force, do his 4 damage. Retrieve a card with Luke. But Luke can't move, and Gold Leader doesn't do much by himself. And Corran Horn can't make it. From Endor to Kifix. And he can't move Rey and Gold Leader together in Kifix. Because that's only 6 ability. Adam will use Rey and draw the bottom card, see if he finds something that helps him. Maybe it's another pilot he can put with Rey. And then he can move the Falcon. Or another ship. Hey, it's Wedge. That's a good card to pick up. Wedge in Red Squadron 1 rather, provides ability of 3 during a battle with opponent's independent starship, which we have here. Add a destiny to power or attrition. Immune to come with me, Talon roll, and attrition less than 4. It's an interesting combination he's got here of squadron assignments to get matching ships with Solo Rey Falcon, Luke in Red 5, Harksef, Overseer, and then ships with permanent pilots, Wedge, Gold Leader, Green Leader, Tycho, and Corran. Lots of snub fighters with permanent pilots and stuff to trigger some of the bonus abilities. Joker King's going to put some used dinner on his back, stack a couple good destinies together. So he puts a 5 and a 4. With the Uta Guta. Took an extra Greedo out of his decks. And there's the... he'll play. They're still coming through. Cancels Barrier. It's a trap and Smokescreen, which is always some handy cards to cancel. Retargets Fallen Portal, which blows up one or two specific decks. Peek at top card of Force Pile. Return it, put it under your Force Pile or under your reserve deck. He chose to put it back in his Force Pile. Leave it there. If it was something high destiny, he could have put it under his reserve deck, so then when he recirculated, he would have had 3 good cards together. But methinks we're going to see 2 battles here. Hey, there's an X-Wing laser cannon, along with an It Could Be Worse. That would have been a card that would have helped Adam out quite a while ago. So we get a drain for 2 and 1. And there goes an all wings combo as well. Alright, we got Darrow as a pilot. He lets you deploy a droid from reserve deck. Does he want to look? Probably not. He's already got the droid in hand. So there's Forlom. So now he's got the second battle destiny with Forlom. So it's a 4, 5, and whatever force he spent, which we don't know what that is. There's Jango Fett. It's just adding a little bit of power. Oh, it's just going as a passenger. Okay. I was going to say, are they the same pilot? They both add 2. Darrow adds 2. Jango adds 2. Battle over here first. Draw the 4. Guaranteed kill Corran Horn. Retrieve 2 cards. Then you'll battle over here. You'll draw the 5. And your second destiny is the unknown card, but if it's at least a 3, you're in good shape. And you've got plenty of guys on your own. Actually, you don't even need it to be a 3, because Dengar adds 1 to your total battle destiny for each of their ships present. So you're drawing a 5, plus you're adding 2 to the total is 7. So anything you draw is going to get you to 8, and 8 is enough to kill 2 things. Ray covers 7, Wedge covers 6. So getting to 8 means you're losing some whole piece, probably Ray and the Falcon, so at least Wedge can do something. Otherwise, you just have an empty Falcon sitting there. Oh, an extra R2 in red 5. It's a good time to draw it. Well, it's a 6. That'll clear the whole thing over there. That's a good time to blind draw a big destiny. Now you get excited because you're like, yeah, we killed Ellis and Woof, but he's just going to battle at Kifix now and get the 2 of them right back. Battle for free with Battle Order First Strike combo. Pay 2, retrieve 2 with Scum and Villainy. $22 cards down for Joker King, plus 3 in hand. 14 down for Adam, plus 1 in hand for him. There's the 5 that we know he put back. And it's 2. So we'll have 9 for total Battle Destiny. Adam chose to add a Destiny to Attrition. So he'll have a 4 for his draw. Ray adds 1 to the total, making it a 5. And then he'll add an extra Destiny to Attrition on top of it. Django does cover 8, and Forlom covers 5, so unlikely you're going to get through more than that. That's a bright hope. So Django will be enough to cover. Meanwhile, Ray and the Falcon probably have to go here. And Lightside's pretty much just out of stuff to do at this point. I believe Adam is also one of our international players. I think he's in Australia or New Zealand, so it's probably pretty early in the morning there for him. Maybe getting a game in before work. I don't know, it could be on his lunch break. He'll move Dengar over in front of Gold Leader and Gold 1. To block the drain at Naboo. And say go. Alright, this is not the most... Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and scoop it. Alright, good. I was going to say this is not the most exciting way to wrap up a show here, which is kind of watching him go through the motions. Let's go back to the old GEMP lobby and see if we can't see anything else exciting going on here real quick before we wrap up the show. What do we got? Premier Death Star 2. We got Dan playing a No Idea against a guy named Death Ewok. That sounds ominous. An episode 1 sealed game. Okay, a couple episodes. Looks like an episode 1 sealed league going on right now. We got a Jabba's Palace start against a main power generator start. CCT, No Idea. Okay. And Justin's looking to get a fun casual game in. So if you're in the mood for some Star Wars, there's plenty of other games for you to check out and watch here live in the GEMP lobby. It's going to wrap up my show for this evening. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Sign up for the MPC. If you haven't already, if you're not one of the, 70 plus people who've signed up for the Death Star 2 retro event, this has got to be 35 or so people per side of the page here. So you're probably looking at 70, 75 people. Now would be a great time to sign up for that. Also, a fun thing, check out for leagues in your area. You know, Corellia, that's the kind of the Midwest region. Kashyyyk, which is like the New England area. There's a Dutch league. The Yavin 4s, like that Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina area. You got Bespin, which is like Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. Up in that area, you got the Coruscant League, which is New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Naboo League, which is the UK. You got the Dutch League. And for SoCal League event, there's a SoCal one. Southern California, there's a NorCal one for the San Francisco Bay Area group of players. Colorado League. So all the leagues are starting up. and are going to all be starting online. At some point, they may transition to live events as we get later into the year. But a lot of different leagues in your area, chance to get some games in, get some. There's foils for those too. There's exclusive foil slips that only come in the league kits. So be sure and sign up. Check out some Star Wars in your area. Find something fun to play online. Plenty of good stuff coming up. And check out Hollow Theater Wednesday night, 9 p.m. I have no idea who Dan's guest is this week. He's too busy playing to come on to my show to plug his show, which is usually what I'm doing on Wednesday instead of watching his show, so it works out. And we'll see you back here next week. You guys take care. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.